Okay, we're going to do some work on determining the equation of a parabola. We've looked at some work with this before, but now specifically parabolas of the form y equals x plus a all squared plus b. Okay, so let's get into it and start with an example 1. Okay, so we've got a parabola that goes through the point 4,3, but 4,3 is a really significant point. That's the turning point of the parabola. And we know that the parabola is of the form x plus a all squared plus b. We need to write the equation of the parabola. So to do so, we need to find out what a is and what b is. So it's important then to recognise what the a and b represent in this equation. Well, b indicates the vertical shift and a indicates the horizontal shift. And we could also call that, what you might hear it sometimes being referred to as the phase shift. Okay, now one point to note is that the phase shift, a good way to think about this is that you go against the grain with it. Now that's not something you're going to see written in a textbook. It's just like a kind of wee informal kind of note and thought to have for this one, and I'll explain it in a wee second. So the a, which is inside the bracket, that indicates the horizontal shift, and the b outside the bracket, that represents vertical shift. And what I'm saying here is that could also be referred to as a phase shift, and to think about going against the grain. Okay, now this parabola would be y equals x squared originally, but what's happened is it's been shifted to the right and it's been shifted up. So when I say shifted to the right, that's the phase shift, that's the horizontal shift, and it's been shifted up, that's the vertical shift, that's that b. Okay, now the shift along is given by the value a. Now we can see that we've shifted from 0 along to the x coordinate of 4. Now that might make you think then that that number there would be plus 4. And the reason being is that, well, you've moved 4 in the positive direction. So the positive horizontal direction, which we have, so you would possibly think then that that would be plus 4. Well, in fact, what you do then is you go against the grain. So you go against your instinct with that one. And if you move in the positive direction by 4, that means it is actually x minus 4 all squared. So it's been a movement of 4 units to the right. So that's 4 units in the positive direction, but not plus 4. That's minus 4, so we go against the grain. But you just think intuitively with 3. So the 3 is representative of the vertical shift, so we've moved 3 units up, but you just go with your instinct with that one, and that would be plus 3. Okay, so a is equal to minus 4, b is equal to 3, and the equation of this parabola then is x minus 4 all squared plus 3. Now we're going to do several examples of this with another example 2. Okay, example 2. And this time we've got a parabola which goes through the point 5, 2. Okay, so the parabola, we're told, is of the form y equals x plus a all squared plus b. Now we need to find what that equation is, which means we'll need to find a and we'll need to find b. Now remember that the plus a is the horizontal shift, that's the phase shift, and again we're going to think about going against the grain. So another way of thinking of that is to think counterintuitively. So your intuition, we're going to go against that one possibly, and we've got plus b, which is the vertical shift. Okay, so the value a, which is the thing inside the bracket, the squared bracket, that's the horizontal shift. So originally that parabola would be y equals x squared, and it would have started at the origin. So what's happened is it's been shifted 5 to the right, 5 in the positive direction. So that's the positive horizontal direction, but we'll go against the grain, and we might think that that would be x plus 5, but it's actually x minus 5 all squared. Now we then move 2 units up, so 2 units in the positive direction. This time we're going to think intuitively of that one, which is that you're going up plus 2. So a was minus 5, b was 2, final answer y equals x minus 5 all squared plus 2. Let's take a look at an example 3. Okay, example 3. Okay, this time we've got a parabola and the turning point is 3 minus 4. Okay, so from starting at the origin, we've moved 3 units to the right and 4 units down to reach the turning point. And we're told that the parabola is of the form y equals x plus a all squared plus b. We need to identify a and b. Okay, so we've moved 3 units to the right, so 3 units in the positive horizontal direction, so that means that a is equal to minus 3. Thinking counterintuitively, going against the grain. Now the plus b, remember, is the vertical shift. So the vertical shift, we think intuitively with that one, so we're moving down 4 units, minus 4. Final answer, y equals x minus 3 all squared minus 4. So that's our values for b and b. A is minus 3 and b is minus 4. Okay, example 4. Example 4, and we've got a parabola with a turning point of minus 3, 1. Okay, the parabola is of the form x plus a all squared plus b. Remember that the plus a is the horizontal shift, but we're going to go against the grain with that one, think counterintuitively. And the b is the vertical shift, and we'll go with our intuition with that one. Okay, so this parabola was to start as y equals x squared. It's been moved in the negative direction horizontally by 3 units to end up at minus 3, and then it's been moved up 1 unit to 1 to reach its turning point. So it's been moved 3 in the negative direction. So remember, this is the phase shift, the horizontal shift, call that the phase shift. Okay, so we've moved 3 in the negative direction, but we're going to go against the grain, and it's not minus 3 but plus 3. Okay, we've then moved 1 unit up, so 1 unit up, we're going to think intuitively that one plus 1. Final answer, y equals x plus 3 all squared plus 1. So this time a was equal to 3 and b was equal to 1. Okay, example 5. Example 5, and we've got a turn point this time, which is minus 3 minus 4. And the parabola is of the form y equals x plus c all squared plus d. Now you might at that point ask why there's different layers involved. Well, that's just to show you that that's not a big deal. A and B, C and D, or we might use P and Q, so you can expect different layers to be involved in these types of questions. But the important thing is this time C is the horizontal shift and D is the vertical shift. So if we start at the origin, we've moved the horizontal shift is 3 in the negative direction. 3 in the negative direction, so that will be plus 3. And it's 4 in the negative direction, so 4 down, minus 4. Okay, now we can now start to establish a quick way of doing this, which is as follows. So the x coordinate of the turn point, we change its sign, and the y coordinate of the turn point, we don't change its sign, and that will give you its equation. Okay, so let's go over that again. So the x coordinate is minus 3, you change its sign to get plus 3, the y coordinate is minus 4, you don't change its sign, and it's still minus 4. Okay, in example 6. And we've got a parabola which goes through the turn point, which is minus 2, 1. The parabola is of the form x plus e all squared plus f, and we want to find e and f, and therefore the equation of the parabola. Okay, so we're going to change the sign of the minus 2, and that will be plus 2, and we're not going to change the sign of the 1, and that's still plus 1, and then that will give us the correct answer. So 2 in the negative direction, change the sign, plus 2, 1 in the positive direction, don't change the sign, plus 1, final answer. Okay, so let's do 4 examples, kind of rapid fire now. Okay, so these are all of the form y equals x plus a all squared plus b. So that's for 7, 8, 9 and 10. We need to find the equation for each one. Okay, so the first one, we're going to change the sign of the minus 3, x plus 3 all squared, but not change the sign of the 2, plus 2, final answer. Okay, next one, we're going to change the sign of the 4, x minus 4 all squared, and not change the sign of the 2, plus 2, final answer. Okay, change the sign of the minus 3, x plus 3 all squared, but don't change the sign of the minus 2, x plus 3 all squared minus 2, final answer. And then change the sign of the 4, x minus 4 all squared, don't change the sign of the minus 3, x minus 4 all squared minus 3, final answer. Okay, so let's just go over that again. Change the sign of the minus 3, plus 3, don't change the sign of the 2, change the sign of the 4, minus 4, don't change the sign of the 2, change the sign of the minus 3, plus 3, don't change the sign of the minus 2, change the sign of the 4, minus 4, and don't change the sign of the minus 3.